What was the first comedy project you ever did?
What was the first comedy project I ever did? My first, I worked at Comedy Central in development for a long time. That was like my first job, my first real job out of college. I also worked at a video store and I temped. You're welcome. But then my first comedy writing job was I worked on a show called The Showbiz Show with David Spade. Also, you're welcome. That was on Comedy Central, and it was great. It was like this perfect first job. David Spade was super lovely and funny. I adored him.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
He's so great.
He's so great, and like genuinely a delightful.
He was one of my. I met him at the SNL 40th. I was like, he's one of my favorite people that I've met. Like,
He's the best.
He's so great.
Yeah, we had a moment.
Truly, I mean,
I know. Now it's getting back to sounding like sarcasm.
Being but I just loved him.
We had a quick. I don't know why. I would not have predicted we'd get into David Spade stories, but he took the writers to dinner, and I was wearing, because it was many years ago, I was wearing a very treasured swatch of mine, like a Swatch watch. And he was like, he was like, what's with your watch? I think it had a frog on it. It was like blue, and I was like over 30 with a green frog on my watch. And I was like, oh, my boyfriend at the time. I was like, my boyfriend gave it to me, and he just like looked at it and he just went, get rid. And it was very much needed advice. He was not wrong.
Amazing. By the way, my first phone was a Swatch phone. Remember the Swatch phones where you could see through them?
Not only do I remember it, I thought of it. I think of it every morning. Yeah, the see-through where you can see what's going on in your phone.
It's all fake wires, right?
Yeah,
like it's all colorful, like fake wires that don't do anything. But you're like, whoa,
so cool.
And the bottom and the top. I thought this was gonna.
No.
The bottom of the phone and the top of the phone both work like phones. It's basically two phones.
Well, there's your love of free stuff. 2 phones for the price of 1 phone.
Exactly.
Great. Awesome.
Nobody knows what we're talking about.
Nope.
Everyone's
Nope.
too young. Okay.
No.
Who else has a question? Okay, kind of a quiet.
Chica, do you have another one?
Does anyone? Oh, my cousin Brooke. We're only going to call on people that we know. Of course. When did you know you were funny?
Great question. There was not like a aha moment of I'm funny, but I was noticing in high school that I wasn't becoming particularly attractive. But I was like, time to lean on something else. And so I tried being funny, and that seemed to go better than relying on the other parts. So yeah, I think like in college I auditioned for a sketch group. Rishi from college. We went to...
So only people that we know are here.
Everyone's like, are they in their house? We went to Vassar College, and there was a sketch group called Laughing Stock, and I auditioned for it, and I got in, and I was like, well, that feels like a big vote of confidence. How many more questions?
Unless there's... Oh, here's a question. What a great...
That's a great question.
Yeah, how becoming a mom... I just for the Facebook.
Can I say something so humiliating, which was, as she was asking that question, I honestly thought she said, how's becoming a model? And I was like, oh, but I'm not a model.
She asked how becoming a mom affected
not a
your
model.
writing. Yeah.
Not a model. Yeah, you didn't ask about me becoming a model because I'm not one. How did that is actually.
By the way, you look gorgeous tonight.
Thank you so much. So many people helped, but thank you. As do you.
Do.
I love your red lip.
Also, thank you. It feels like it's really spreading all over my face, but
it's not. It's perfectly where it is.
Okay.
I know that is a really genuinely good question. I think I'm still figuring it out. I have a son who's just turned 1, and he's the bomb. I think you learn a lot about patience when you have a baby because it's just very nonstop, and it also doesn't leave a lot of time. So like all that time I used to spend on the internet, suddenly that is not there as much. And I want to spend time with my kid, and that leaves a shorter amount of time in a good way sometimes to write. And it focuses the attention on like getting it done. But yeah, it's still kind of new. Check back in. Yeah.
Oh, we've got one over here. Yes. Are you going to go back to? I'm saying it for Facebook.
Yeah.
Are you going to go back to stand up at some point?
I would very much like to. There was a moment I was trying to do stand up when I was pregnant, and then there was a moment when I was about 7 months pregnant where I was a very large pregnant person, and I'm not. I mean, you're supposed to be big when you're pregnant. It's not self-deprecating. Objectively, I was enormous. Like there's like pictures of me and Amy Schumer at our premiere party for third season, and you were like, oh, that person's gonna give birth any day, and it was like month 6. But anyway, I tried to go up on stage, and I was like trying to talk, and I was like, oh, I can't very much breathe. So I decided to take a break, but I really miss it, and I think I'm going to try and do a little more soon. This feels like a nice soft landing into it in some ways.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
Oh, over here, yes.
Did getting an Emmy change your writing style or the way you feel about yourself?
I'm going to repeat it because it's
Yeah.
kind of what
Yeah, no, for the people.
Did getting an Emmy change your writing style or the way you feel about yourself? I've never gotten an Emmy, but I would think like it doesn't matter. But
You're correct. Vanessa, you're so right.
I don't think it wouldn't affect because it's like about you. It's like doesn't matter what other people think.
No, and in fact, great question. And there is a chapter in the book entitled "Dog Shit," in which I describe how that feeling remained both before and after the Emmy. It was very awesome to win one, and was really exciting and unbelievable. But no, writing style, definitely no. And how I feel about myself, sadly, no. All the same anxiety and sweating disorders. Yeah, I don't know. It's awesome in that moment, and then you just kind of keep on dealing with yourself, I think. Ooh. Right, Vanessa?
I mean, I don't know, but like I would think that.
Do you no, but like you will, but like
Well, and it doesn't matter.
No,
is the thing
no, no,
that
no.
that's-
It's not a
that's
measure
what,
of
like,
anything.
Kind of like resonates with me is that it doesn't matter.
oh,
Anybody else?
you'll get one.
I don't care.
Oh, you'll get one though. I feel pretty confident about it.
Oh, well. Any other questions? We're sweating a lot.
Yes.
This one's kind of a little bit more serious. It's like people keep saying that it's such a great time for like female comedians. Like, how does that make you feel to hear that?
People keep saying it's such a great time for female comedians. That's a great question. How does it make you feel? How does it make you feel?
Do you want to answer first? I'm going to
I
think while
always-
you talk. I want to know what you think.
It's interesting because I think if you are a female comedian, you're like, I guess, right?
Right.
Like you don't feel like, yeah, we're really, because there still is like, it feels like there's still a thing of like, if this female comedy goes well, that's
Right.
good for, and you're like, really? If
Yeah.
this, like, it feels like every time a female comedy comes out, people are like,
You better
this
go.
is it for women.
Yeah.
If it works, women works.
Yeah.
If it doesn't
Go
work,
buy
women don't
20
work.
tickets, throw
And
them in the
you just-
garbage,
yeah, so
whether
when
you
you're-
see it or not, but buy them.
you're
Or it'll
in
never
it,
happen
you
again.
feel-
And meanwhile,
Yeah.
like male comedy people or whatever directors are like pooping out another turd, and everyone's like, "Isn't he amazing?" No worries. Yeah, I do. Yes.
like
what you said.
Yeah, it feels
Yes.
a little. It feels like I think in some ways that is true, but I think in other ways it's like the fact that people keep being like, it's great for women now, right? You're
Right.
like, I guess.
Yeah.
It's like
I've sweated through my
Feels-
underwear, so how great is it?
that's
I-
actually kind of the perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. I do. I mean, yeah, it does. I mean, definitely now more than ever. There are, I mean, it is great that there are so many. I think the fact that there are so many women writing and creating
Yes.
shows, that is something that was not happening, I don't know, 10 years ago in terms of the numbers. That's a big deal. Women kind of, I think, feeling like there's space to write stuff, and that stories about women are not in any way trivial.
Yeah.
They're just, they're your story. They're not, can I say less than?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and I just hope that, like, I feel like when it's really a good time for women in comedy, it won't even be like a thing. Like, women in comedy won't be like a it will just be like people in comedy. But like, you're right, it is like so talked about of like women in comedy, and you're like, if you have to say, you know what I mean?
Yeah, the fact that it's still a topic probably
Yeah.
means it's not as awesome as it could
Yeah.
be. Yeah.
We have to make everyone laugh again.